Hello, my name is Shanice Benito, an educational psychologist at Newham Educational Psychology Services. So today we'll be exploring separation anxiety and how we can help children to cope with the anxiety they may feel when leaving home and returning back to school. Particularly during this pandemic, it may be helpful to explore separation anxiety, as children may experience anxiety separating from their secure base, their home, their parents, and transitioning back into school. So, what is separation anxiety? Separation anxiety refers to excessive worry about separation from their home, from their key attachment figure, which is likely to be their parents or their carers. Children may have formed a secure base within their home or with their parents or carers and may feel anxious when leaving that safety net and returning into school, especially during this pandemic. Separation anxiety can be a typical stage in an infant's development, as it helps children understand relationships and become accustomed to their environment. Typically around 2 years old, toddlers begin to understand that a parent may be out of sight for a while, but they are very much likely to return later. The key feature of separation anxiety is when the anxiety exceeds what might be expected, given a child's developmental level. So what does separation anxiety look like? It can look like children clinging to their parents excessively, particularly when they're entering school. They may cling to their parents as they may not want to leave and enter school. They may be reluctant to go outside, even into their own garden. They may refuse to go to sleep without being near a key attachment figure. Children can experience physical symptoms such as headaches, nausea, and if they anticipate they are likely to be separated, such as they may anticipate that they will be going back into school, they may feel anxiety beforehand and during that transition. When separation does happen, children may seem withdrawn, sad, or struggle to concentrate on work or play. This is because their primary needs need to be met. That is that feeling of safety, that feeling of belonging in their school. And it's important to establish that feeling of safety and belonging before they are ready to learn. When they do feel safe, this will increase their readiness to learn, their readiness to become part of the school curriculum again. Depending on the age of the child, they may have a fear of perceived threats that may be not in their actual present reality. They may displace their fear of separating from their parents or their home onto things such as animals, the sound of insects, the sound of bees, pretend monsters, the dark, or even irrational threats such as perhaps they may fear that burglars will come into the house, or kidnappers, or plane travel. And it's about helping to reframe those thoughts that they may have created into less harmful threats. It's about labeling what they are fearful of so it becomes normalized for them. Children can become homesick when separated from attachment figures, regardless of their age. So someone who is in secondary school could be experiencing separation anxiety. It's all about helping that child to feel that this is a normal thing, to feel anxious about going back into school, particularly during this pandemic, labeling how they feel, accepting how they feel, and then helping them and supporting them. The experience of separation anxiety can be frustrating for the family, as they may wish for their child to enter back into school, and it may cause some conflict within the family if they don't understand why their child is experiencing this anxiety. So it's helpful to have an understanding so that we can help that child to move forwards and enter school, if that's something that the parents and the school would like for that child. So what could children be anxious about? Prolonged distress when separated from the home or attachment figures, worry about losing or harm coming to major attachment figures, particularly during this pandemic, high levels of worry about experiencing an unexpected negative event that can happen when separated from attachment figures, such as becoming lost or even becoming ill, reluctance to leave home because of fear of separation, worry about being alone or without major attachment figures at home or school. This may look like clinging behavior, staying close to the parent around the house, or difficulty entering school in the morning. Reluctance to go to sleep without an attachment figure nearby. Nightmares involving themes of separation from home or major attachment figures. Repeated physical complaints, such as headaches and nausea when separation has happened, or likely or due to happen. So what can we do to help? To help, a child should be encouraged to develop an adequate sense of safety within school. So schools can create nurture rooms, safe spaces for that child to enter, such as a tent where they can go in and have some time away from the classroom to help to regulate their emotions. Movement breaks can be helpful, or having a key figure within school that child is particularly familiar with or close with, so that they can speak about the emotions that child could be experiencing. The child should be encouraged to trust that their parent could return. A parent could give that child a transitional object, such as a bracelet, so that child, when that child looks at that bracelet, they're reminded that their parent is likely to return after school. It is helpful for a parent or key figure to accompany the child during their initial return to school. Staggered returns can be helpful, so gradual introductions to that school. So maybe 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and then 4 days a week, gradually increasing the time that child spends in school to help that child to become accustomed to the school environment again. Before transitioning into school, prior exposure to the situation, such as visiting the school by means of a virtual tour, or photographs of what the teachers look like, what the school looks like, what the classrooms look like, even what the playground looks like, to increase that child's understanding of what school looks like now and help them to remember what they were excited about when they were attending school. You can even ask children to draw what they think school looks like, what lessons would look like, what playtime looks like, so that you can have an understanding of what that child's thoughts are about school. And then you can help to reframe their thoughts if their thoughts are quite negative. There's a lot of talk at the moment about a recovery curriculum, and some lessons in school are looking to foster emotional well-being, especially during the trauma that children may have experienced during this pandemic. School can adopt activities or techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, and more. And this can help children to restore the emotional stability that they had before experiencing this anxiety and this separation from school. For more information about how we can help children to promote their emotional well-being, please contact the Newham Educational Psychology Service. More tips on how to help children with separation anxiety. Try to arrange departures from the secure base after naps and meal times, since the child will be more likely to experience separation anxiety when tired, hungry, or sick. Notice how that child feels by labeling their emotions. Validate the child's feelings. Stay calm. Offer containment and empathy. Avoid minimizing how they feel and offer a place of acceptance before providing support. Prepare the child before departure by reassuring them that their parent will return. Respond with understanding, patience, and confidence. I know you don't want to leave, but I will be back when school is finished is a script that can be helpful. But try not to tease by saying, you're a big boy, you're a big girl now, this shouldn't be hard for you. And try not to sound annoyed. Create feelings of security for the child by providing lots of love and attention. Remember that that child is aiming to maintain a connection with that secure base that they formed at home. Once the child feels safe at school, it will increase their readiness to learn. Parents can even practice short-term separations at home. So when another parent goes into another room, the parent in the same room with the child could say, "Where did daddy go?" for example. And when the other parent returns, that parent can say, "I'm back." These repeated separations might help the child understand that a parent's disappearance is only temporary. And it may be tempting to sneak away from a child when you see them sitting there quietly, but that would only lead to more struggle during the next departure, and it may create mistrust. Parents also need to manage their own anxieties. So if the child senses or sees that the parent is nervous or anxious to send their child back to school, this will convey to the child that something is wrong, and they're likely to copy their parents' responses. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you and that your child is able to transition back into school with less anxiety. Try these top tips and hopefully they can help. Goodbye.